Okay. I'm live again. I hope this is better. I have a second option to try if it's not. So just let me know. Welcome to, I'm going to start all over and see what happens. I'm so sorry. Welcome to Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom, take 2. This week's discussion topics include anything you feel is newsworthy about surrounding racism, inequality, and bigotry in America, which, as I always say, is pretty much everything. For white Americans, understanding our real racial history supports a more honest discussion of racism in America, and it's not going away. It's okay. Lakeisha says yes. Thank you. One person. Thanks. In order to make informed decisions, white Americans need to step up to the plate. Yay. Hi, Shan. Thanks for being here. They need to step up to the plate and learn how our past and present culture of systemic racism, hi, Stevie, has caused the divisive social issues that have plagued us since the beginning of our nation. And white folks are starting to see today. I want to make it crystal clear once again, volume good. Yay. Thank you, Gary. I'm so happy. Black people don't need to be saved by white people. They don't need a white savior. That ship has sailed if it ever was. And we've allowed this to happen for centuries. It's too late for us to be the saviors. Black folks are going to save themselves, but God forbid white folks should actually give a shit and support, not lead, but support our brothers and sisters of color. Day 26, Lakeisha, day 26 of the government shutdown. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And so we are going to talk about that. We have failed to stop it. And now Black people and Indigenous people and brown people and African Americans and people who are of mixed heritage, they're going to get their equality. But maybe we should get on board and maybe help a little. So I just get really sarcastic. I'm sorry. It's just called taking racial responsibility. It's something that in general, white folks don't do. And what it means is educating ourselves, and it means educating ourselves in our real history to the point where we can educate other white people. It is not the responsibility of non-white people to teach the oppressor. So how's it going? No? Headset? I'm going to try the headset. Let's see what happens. Some people said good, some people said not. I'm going to try this is the headset, and this might do it. Maybe.
Not yet.
Not yet. So I'm going to try. I hear it's not good.
Is that better?
Let me know if this is better. Yes, Lakeisha. I know. Snap Section 8 stopped funding until it opens up again. Is this better? Is this any better to anybody at all? Anybody? Yes? No? Maybe so?
Let's try one more thing, maybe.
He's going to try one more thing. Lakeisha says yes. So, says allow. Hopefully, I can get going and we'll get through this. Jamie, hello. You're here. It's okay? Good. Everyone says it's okay. So, thumbs up for the headset. I'll do whatever it takes. Okay. You're going to want to talk about this stuff tonight because there's some strange things going on. My biggest thing is this. I don't speak to people. I don't teach people, people of color things. That's not my place. I don't do it. Everything I say is to try to educate white folks because that is my responsibility. And I feel very strongly about it, as you may have noticed. And here's the thing. We live in this atrocious and delusional lie of white supremacy. And we need to start helping to dismantle it. It's sick. It's oppressive. It's unconscionable and inhumane. And I've said this before, and I hate to repeat, but it is crime against humanity. I have no doubt this system of racism that we allow to continue is a crime against humanity. And so that's my commentary. Now let's get started. It's a lifestyle for our nation. So like I said before, when people start asking like, oh, how did it get white folks? So, oh, how did it get so bad? Oh my gosh. I get a little bit sarcastic. And I try not to sound mean, but it didn't get so bad. This is how it's been, and worse. White folks are just starting to notice because we have a monster in our presidency. Lakeisha, 51-year-old white man punches 12-year-old girl in Asheville, North Carolina. Yeah, I read about that. It's unbelievable. Thanks, Lakeisha. That's definitely something I'm going to read about. People are becoming emboldened. So white people need to stop feigning this. Oh, I'm so shocked. These politicians and our citizens they're just emboldening and feeling like they can just do this publicly. Excuse me. The politicians and the Republican side are living in the delusion, and they're becoming emboldened themselves. And it's absolutely disgusting. They found their de facto modern leader of the Ku Klux Klan. So I guess I just wish white folks would face the truth and we could educate ourselves so we could dedicate ourselves to supporting and dismantling this barbaric system. So before we get started, this is what I wanted to tell everybody. I'm doing this little like fun thing, I guess you could say. Before we get started, I wanted to ask everybody here for your help, and no pressure, but I would really appreciate your support if you believe in what I'm doing, which is trying to, Stevie, yes, it's white supremacy, which my whole point is, oh, Antoine, ain't no such thing as white supremacy or white privilege. It's only white corruption. Okay. Yeah, my take is this, Antoine, and call it what you want. It doesn't matter what it's labeled. It's evil, it's cruel, and white people are doing it. So, yeah, I mean, I understand. I think I understand. So today, what I want to talk to you about before we get started is I'm trying to get a broader audience. I've kind of run out of white friends. I mean, most of them ran away like long ago, which is a whole other thing. I'm fine with it. But like I said, today is going to be the first. Yeah. Okay. Stevie says that's a lie, Antoine. Okay. Today's the first week of this weekly quiz contest I'm doing. And Lakeisha, because of white guilt. Yeah. People have white guilt. It's ludicrous. It's like, stop being guilty and friggin' do something about it. That's just my take. I mean, if people have white guilt, then that means they're not doing anything about it. I mean, that's, Antoine, you're absolutely right. I'm not sure who you're referring to, but keep talking. This needs to be not just me blabbing. I want to hear what you think. So be as clear as you can, because I want to say what you really think and not be, just kind of guessing and stuff. But what this is it's the first week of this. It's kind of simple. It's a weekly quiz contest that I'm going to run, and it's for a prize. Yes, I am bribing people to care. Not you guys. You guys already care. I'm trying to get new people who might be guilty. Lakeisha, guilty as charged, complicit to racism. Absolutely. Because a lot of people think I feel guilty, and a lot of the kind of haters that I get, like, hate stuff, they think I feel guilty. I'm not to be rude, not to be a, but laugh my head off. I don't feel guilty. I'm pissed. Guilt. I'm enraged. I feel betrayed by my fellow humans. Not that I have any kind of allegiance to any one group, but for God's sakes, to be cruel to my brothers and sisters of color is sick. And that's how I look at it. I look at everybody as somebody who, I'm one handshake away from being a friend to every single person. And I don't know. It's just, I'm not special. It's just, I was born this way, and I can't stand the feeling of betrayal of these lying people. They're lying. Anyway, I keep saying, not about me. Stop it. Okay. So here's how you play. It's really easy. Especially for people who are here right now. The objective of the contest is to get more people to take an interest in learning the truth about our real racial history and coming onto my channel and learning and just, sucking it up and listening and hearing the truth. They're going to get it from a white person, which unfortunately is kind of the way a lot of white folks are. And that makes me sick. That's a whole nother. Anyway, I'm going to stop jumping all around. To play, all you need to do is listen to this weekly live show. I'm going to give a weekly quiz question, and I'm going to tell you where to find the answer. And for people here, you're going to know the answer. Absolutely. There's not going to be, you're going to know the answer. But my goal is to get those people who are just on the edge of, like, maybe friends maybe colleagues, relatives. I'm going to just try to get as many people as I can. I need to get the white folks who are simply afraid to get involved, not like extremely, hardcore, overtly racist. That they're past the point of, I can't teach anyone. And by the way, I am a teacher, so that might be why I'm always like teaching. But Jamie, Trump is funding money to government buildings to close his, yes, I know. And we're going to talk about that, buildings close to his business to keep business operating while other government buildings are closed. Absolutely. Like Lakeisha, like who was president before George Washington? Absolutely. Stuff like that. Or things like, what did the Black Caucus do while the white people were setting up our government? People don't, there's so much. I mean, actually, Lakeisha, sadly, the white folks know, like, that's like an advanced thing. But Antoine, look up the word supremacy and privilege. Not all white people are bigoted assholes, but you can never change hatred. I don't think, if you follow what I do, Antoine, I don't think all white people are bigoted assholes. I think, I'll just say it, I think all white people have implicit bias. It's a byproduct of being born into a society that is based on, built on, and made from white supremacy. You guys talk amongst each other if you want, because I want your opinions, not just mine, but I don't think people are born racist. That's ridiculous. I don't think white people have a DNA or some evil. They are taught. And like Jane Elliott says, if you can be taught it, you can be untaught it. And Lakeisha, environment of the racist upbringing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fadine, hello. And my honor to speak the truth. It's the least I can do. I wish I could do more. So I'm having this, I'll get through this I'm having this thing because I'm asking people for their help to bring in people that, might be a little bit shaky, but that might want to win a $20 Amazon gift certificate each week. So I'm going to do this each week to try and draw in new people who might be reluctant to talk about it. So it's really simple to do. And I'll do whatever it takes. Neil, white racist people are like a poisonous snake that is sneaky and will hide until they can bite you and take you out or take you down. Yeah, I understand. It's a terrifying thing. And it's what America needs to step up to the plate and grow a spine and support our nation that boasts liberty and justice for all, because it means nothing and it never has. We have a racist national anthem. We have, see, I'm getting off track. Stevie, Muhammad Ali says the same. Thank you. Fadine, you will have to bring in your own. They don't listen to us. Yeah, I think, and I don't want to misrepresent you, but it makes me disgusted and pretty much enraged, hence angry soccer mom, when the people who are actually living this every single stinking day are saying, I'm being injured, I'm being hurt, I'm being abused. And then they won't listen to them. But somebody like me, oh, what did they say? That's disgusting. And if I could change that, I would in a heartbeat. And if I'm wrong about what you're saying, Fadine, just let me know, because I don't want to misrepresent anyone. Lakeisha, venomous white hatred. Anton, Neil, absolutely right about that. Thanks. Yeah, it's and more and more people, if we just keep talking about it. So back to ending this because I can't wait to tell you some stuff I found out. And I want to see if you guys also had heard this. Mrs. F. Black. I don't know if you've heard this news story, but 2 Black children, brother and sister, have gone missing in Cleveland. No, I have not. I just wanted to get this out because it's not getting much coverage. Put it on there. I will send it off after the show to every single group I have a connection with and every single group I run. I do that anyway, but thank you. Absolutely. Gary, the good book to read is White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. Yes, Robin DiAngelo. I've seen videos. Amazing, amazing. So what I want you guys to do is, there's a catch for people who, if you're already, a YouTube subscriber and have been supporting me, you guys get to have 5. I kind of want the people who are supporting me to win, even though it's only $20, but still, just for fun. So you guys get, for every one person you bring in and who subscribes and plays, you get 5 extra, like having your name in. So hopefully one of you guys will win. So that's the contest. And here is the question. And again, it's going to be a really easy one at first. Fadine, if you read the ISIS papers, you'll understand. Okay, thank you. The question is, it's really easy. Don't laugh. Because this has to be for people who don't know anything too. Leslie, you can hear me. Yay. Thank you. I'm wearing my little thingy bop so that I can hopefully figure this out. Amazon Prime sign up after shutdown over. Wait, I don't understand. Explain. Okay. So here's the question. The question is, name a cliche denial of racism and how to debunk it. There are so many cliche denials, and it's one thing for white Americans. They need to, if they do anything, learn the cliche denials, the real history, the real racial history, and how to calmly and effectively debunk them. There's about 30 of them. I'm sure there's more, but there's 30 main ones. Where to find the answer? If you don't know, if you're watching this show, in not real time, and you're just learning all this stuff, find the answer. You can find the answer in the top 10 ways to debunk excuses to denying racism in America, in a video I did like a year ago, maybe. Let me see. I don't see color. Oh, I don't see color. Oh my goodness. Yes, that is redlining. Yeah. So many of the videos I do talk about what an insult with the redlining, and the people don't know about redlining. They don't know. Oh my God, I'm not racist. And yeah. So put all these in your answers, to the, after the show, and you will be in the contest. Okay. And I will make sure you're in it. So while you're thinking about what you want to talk about, oh my God, every one of those is, and you got to put a cliche, cliche denial of racism, and then put how you would debunk it after the show, and you will be in. And if you can get anyone else to join and they play the game too, and they get, the answer right, then they're in too. Yep. All these, they're all classic. You hear them. Nobody's ever original. I'm not trying to be rude, but I can't imagine hearing that bullshit over and over and over. And I'm a white person, and I deal with it because I choose to deal with it. But you know what? I can go on a vacation if I want, and that's not fair. No one should have to deal with this. Neil, Lakeisha, wait a second. They only have Black friends that support their agenda, white privilege. Exactly. Yeah, it's sad to say. Neil, I had someone message me today and made a horrible comment. They all look alike. Yeah, well, are you serious, Neil? That's disgusting. Mrs. S.F. Black. I've heard people deny being racist because they happen to be in a relationship. Oh my God, don't even get me started. I hear that, yes, with a Black person, as if that means anything. Hell, Thomas Jefferson had children with a Black woman he owned and raped. Sorry, I added that. That was not Mr. S, but yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's disgusting. Donald Sterling, Gary. So I wanted to start by, yeah, I know you guys will be able to help if you can. And if you're busy and swamped, then don't worry about it. But I'm putting it out there. I want people to, I gotta get to some more people. They need to learn. They have to learn and listen. And so let me see. There's some particularly upsetting things that are going on. Apparently, and I want to know, do you guys know about this? While Trump was demanding a wall and having his little tantrums and having his, hi Al, his basically obnoxious, like no one's ever said no to the guy in his life. There were 3 or more cabinet level departments in the Trump administration who have been quietly investigating something that you guys should know about. And I just learned this. Maybe you guys already know, but people need to know this. They were trying to figure out how they could roll back important legal precedents that were set in the Civil Rights Act of 1964 that prevent discrimination in housing, employment, and basically everything, policing, and even education. And I want to talk about this for a minute because it's legal stuff. I'm not an attorney, but I really tried to break this down. It's basically the way it's written in this law and what they're trying to determine if they can overturn. And this makes me sick, so I'm a little emotional. It's basically what prevents structural racism in our society, or what's supposed to. It's called disparate impact, adverse impact. It's also called disproportionate impact. And what it is, it's referring to the idea that even if a thing is not meant to be racist, it's still racist if it systemically or systematically affects a protected class of people. Okay? I'll explain further. You'll be like, shut up already by the time I'm done. So I want people to get this because I'm not an attorney. The idea is that there doesn't have to be intent in order to discriminate. And this is written into the law on purpose. It's placed in the Title IX part of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 to make sure the spirit of the act was followed. This is what Trump and obviously his sickos that follow him, our politicians, many of them are trying to see and look into if they can overturn it. Let me just explain further. Most white people have been led to believe that to be racist and discriminate, something has to be done with hate, with intent, or purposefully, maliciously. But that's not the case in legal terms. Legally, a policy can be declared discriminatory even if it doesn't have any intent. Like the person says, I didn't mean it. And that's a good sentiment, but it doesn't matter. It's the discrimination, it's the behavior, it's the harm that counts. They want to undo that. In other words, it's still discrimination, even if a person didn't mean to do it. If an action has a disproportionately negative effect on a legally protected group, then it's illegal, even if it wasn't intended to be discrimination. And the concept's pretty simple. Even if something's not meant to be racist, it's still racist if it systematically affects a protected class. Donald Trump wants to make racism okay because he says it's okay unless someone can prove that the accused party intended to discriminate against them. Well, I mean, that's just ridiculous. That literally is ridiculous. In other words, he wants people to be able to legally discriminate in government and all over the place. And he isn't doing this. I'm not trying to be this, doomsday person, but this is the article that I have read, and I checked it 3 times with different sources. This is what's happening. Neil, I did respond. You mean all white? I did respond. You mean all white racist people look alike? And then, you mean all? That's what you said, Neil? Oh my God, that's hilarious. I did respond. You mean all right? You're funny. White racist people look alike, and then block the person. He was not worth wasting my time. That is hilarious. I mean, I don't know. I'd probably be just like wouldn't know what to say. That's funny. Yep, they all do seem to talk alike. That's for sure. The cynics. Well, if that's not a major sign that they aren't racist, then I think you're just wanting to call white people bad. Oh, he's talking to Mr. or Mrs. F. Black. I don't know what, oh my gosh, I'm not sure what you mean, what you're referencing, and I can't go back right now, and I don't speak for Mr. or Mrs. F. Black, MRS F. Black, but I don't think anyone is wanting to call all white people bad. That's ridiculous. Ignorant, probably, but ignorant means you are not educated. Once white people are educated, they totally get this. It's not rocket science. I mean, it's not rocket science. So I'm sorry you feel that way, but I certainly do not think that is the intent of anyone. But I don't speak for anyone but myself. Okay. Fadine Rose, it's always been a war on Black people. They don't go after any other people. Yeah, and I'm not sure the order of operations, but I once watched a show on the pecking order of evil, cruel white supremacists. And it was kind of interesting. The Ku Klux Klan had a lot to say. I watched an interview on this guy, and the pecking order is weird. Not what I thought, but it doesn't matter because people who are white have privilege and they can circumvent the discrimination and the pain and the horror and everything that it does. So it really doesn't matter what their order of operations are. It's like a terrorist. You just have to know that they could hurt you to cause terror. It's always, let me see, it's blocking people. I can't debate you. Blocking people. I don't debate humanism, Mr. Cynics, the Cynics. I don't debate people on human rights because to me, there's no debate. So I'm not sure who you were referencing, but wouldn't know what to say. There's no debate. Human rights are human rights. Therefore, everybody, we are in one race. It's called the human race. And that we have split it up. White people invented this way to split it up so they can do horrific atrocities to others is unconscionable. And I can't debate that because what am I going to say? You're an asshole? I mean, what can I say? So look at the Hebrew Israelites. If you don't think there aren't people wanting to call white people bad. I think there probably are people who want to call white people bad, but that's not really what I'm saying. So, Lakeisha, God forgive me, but if white people keep this shit going, Black people are going to do two things. They're going to go to war or commit suicide. And a lot of times what I tell people who are white is, you know what? White folks are just lucky. Most Black people and African Americans and Indigenous people and brown people, they just want equality with equity. They don't want revenge because you know what? What we've done is a crime against humanity that lasted and has continued to this second to last for centuries. It's surreal and unthinkable. And any white person who knows the real history of America knows this. I'm sorry, it's true. Stevie, do you know who Tariq Nasheed is? No. But if your question is to me, tell us, because I'm here to learn from you guys. Reparations are our revenge. You know, yeah, you're gonna get reparations, and you're gonna get, you know, no one will ever be able to make up for what was done. But my big thing is, it's time white people take some responsibility. Take some responsibility for our racial past. It's so easy to say, oh, that happened way long ago. Well, then who's going to step up and do something other than the people it's happening to? Everybody should be stepping up. He challenges white supremacy. Oh my gosh, I would love to learn more. Send me stuff. Send me. So what do you guys want to talk about? Because, and also, did you hear about what the Trump administration is trying to do with getting into this trying to somehow legally overturn the spirit of what it's, I mean, I'm not trying to scare people, but that's terrifying. We have the de facto leader of the modern Ku Klux Klan in our White House. And I'm sorry, it's true. Oh, the cynic. Oh, just to let you know, black on black crime is a fallacy. And so I don't really, this isn't really debating, like an open debate thing, Mr. Cynic or Mrs. Cynic. I use real facts, so I'm going to move on. I use the FBI's real facts, which say that white on white crime is just about the same thing. People do crime in the area that they live in general. Neil. Oh my goodness. I think Lakeisha is right about something is going to happen if white people continue down this racism road. Yep. This is F Black. There was recently an atrocity in the capital of Haiti where men who are supposedly police went door to door in a neighborhood attacking residents with guns and machetes. Oh my gosh. I didn't read about that. I've been kind of working on this stuff, but this story also isn't getting coverage. Interesting. Well, you know what? One of the things that I do is I do a bunch of different things. I take things that aren't getting coverage and I talk about them. So send them my way, make it clear it's not getting coverage because it's, obviously too much for any one person to handle. There's just too much going on, and Trump's tantrums are, just a distraction to what's really going on. There's people in the White House right now who want to try to overturn the spirit of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. That is effed up. That's terrifying. I mean, that's what you get when you allow a white supremacist to be the president and to bring his Klan into federal government. I don't know what we expected. I wanted to start talking about this shutdown and start with some particularly obnoxious things that have been going on. And I also want to know what you guys think of all this. And tell me what you want to talk about. Let me just see here. We all know Trump is self-serving. I mean, duh, right? He appears to be incredibly heartless about the people he's destroying he's heartless and he's just cruel and he's a total put down to people. He's sick. He ran a campaign promising to harm almost every single group of people who are already in historically marginalized groups. And he is keeping his promise because that's who he is. Starting from his not allowing, black people to come into his apartments, to what he did to the Central Park Five. It's unconscionable. Lakeisha, shutdown of federal workers getting zero. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Right. Oh, they held your comments, Stevie. Trump's an asshead. Okay. I think there's no one I know that would disagree. I wanted to talk about, if you guys know about this, it's extremely obnoxious. And the first thing that a lot of people have been distracted from is it's a tape. And I want to play you the tape. And I normally don't do that, but you got to see this thing. This is a tape from Trump's senior economic advisor from a few days ago. And I want you to hear this, and I will hold it in a kind of a funny way to make sure you hear it. It's not good. So let me know if you hear it. Play it as loud as I can. Let's rate and show it too. Okay. Let me see. Just give me 1 second, and hopefully it will come about. I can explain it if it doesn't. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting it up. Not sure why. But Trump's his senior economic advisor going to put it over here for a second to see if it'll go. He compared the shutdown to a vacation. And I really want you to see this because it is unbelievable. Lakeisha, food stamps for February is early this Sunday. Yep, coming for those who get SNAP benefits. Yep. And there's so many things. I want to play you this very badly because it is just unbelievable. Let me see if I can get it going now. I apologize for the delay. It is really horrible. Let me see here if we can get this going. Just a second. It's quite delayed. It's going to have a commercial, but this is it.
What if AI could find connections faster?
I want you guys to hear this because this is unbelievable.
Treatments. That's why she's working with Watson.
If that's so, why couldn't they fund the border wall? Right.
Which really can't wait.
Leslie, yep. Check this out.
We've heard from federal workers across the country about the real pain they're experiencing because of the shutdown. But I want you to listen to a senior White House advisor. You pay this man. He's talking about the workers being actually better off.
Huge share of government workers were going to take vacation days, say between Christmas and New Year's. And then we have a shutdown. And so they can't go to work. And so then they have the vacation, but they don't have to use their vacation days. And then they come back and then they get their back pay. Then they're, in some sense, they're better off.
With a grin on his face, he says that people who are not being paid are better off because they're not being paid and sitting home during the holidays. There's not a single person we've had on this show who's being affected by this shutdown who does not want to go back to work and earn the money to pay the bills.
I just want you guys to see this.
To pay the children's tuition.
It's crazy. Yeah, this dude actually, that's one of his senior advisors who came on and had the gall to say that, we're actually kind of lucky this is happening. I mean, talk about altered reality. Let me see. I am going to somebody please help me understand. So I need a very intelligent person who understands politics to answer this question. For the past 2 years, Republicans controlled everything. So let me see. I do not see the rest of your question. Leslie, for some reason, I cannot see the rest of it. So maybe rewrite it again. I hate to say it. If that's so, why? Oh, got it. Okay, I got it. It's down below. Thank you, Leslie. Yeah, if that's so, why couldn't they fund a border wall? Help me understand. Yep. Dwayne, hello. Thanks for being here. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you're here. Yeah, exactly. And that's the whole point. Is this is like a sick showmanship type thing. Lakeisha, he's mad because the Dems control the House, right? And he couldn't get it passed. He couldn't get that freaking wall passed when they controlled everything. He's not a well man. I don't know. Martin, hi, I'm glad you made it. Martin, racism is not truly, will not truly be over until we intermarry and integrate. Thank God our young people are starting to do this. I am today the only white boy in my immediate family, and I'm very proud of that. Oh my gosh, you're so cute, Martin. That's adorable. Thank you. You're the only white boy. Chet, I'm so glad you've gotten a larger platform. Well deserved. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Just one more voice fighting against racial injustice. And thank you so much, Chet. I really appreciate your support. Let me see. I'm not sure. I want to help. I want to educate people, but some people aren't ready and they need to be ready. But thank you so much for your support. Let me see. So what did you guys think of this? An advisor to, a top advisor to Trump believes that we're better off. Marcy, thank you for being here. It's like they're not living in the same world. Help me out. Did I not, Leslie, help me out. Did I not hear 45 say that people that are affected by this shutdown stand behind what he is doing? So why are they complaining? Because he's lying. Hello. But yeah, Neil, there were some Republicans who do not like Trump, so they could couldn't get the funds to build the wall when they controlled Congress. Yeah. I personally am blown away by Republicans. I teach my children to do the right thing. They saw evil, cruelty, un-American things happening, and they stood and did nothing. So I have no words for them. Gary, I don't understand all the fuss about Trump. He's just a typical white man who happens to be president. Yeah, it's interesting. I think he's the first person in my generation of my lifetime that's been an overt, over the top white supremacist. So it's I think it's eye-opening for a lot of white people. But you're right. The truth is, and that we got him into office, and that he is actually trying to pursue these cruel, cruel things. He's pursuing what he promised, and that is to further harm people in historically marginalized groups. He's a real sicko. Like, I need to tell you that. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, it's a good point, Gary. Marcy, I would hold him to his promise that Mexico will pay for it. Don't let him pin the expenses on us. Well, Marcy, part of the problem is, and I did in the last show, I explained, and I pretty much everyone knows this that's probably watching, that's not how they get in. It's just not how they get in. Trump's own State Department, his own current State Department, they probably have taken it down by now, said they estimate 0 people coming in as terrorists crossing, illegally crossing the southern border. It's kind of it's a joke, kind of. He wants the wall because he promised it. People tunnel under, people buy a ladder. I mean, this whole thing's ridiculous. Stevie, he's a racist who happens to be president. Yeah, and exactly. And sadly, presidents have a damn lot of power, and we're finding out. Or at least he runs his mouth as if they do. Gary, Obama was called the deporter in chief, but no one cared then. So why now? I'm not sure. What do you guys think? As it turns out, Obama ended up doing a lot of things kind of on like the under the radar, I guess you could say. And one of the things he did was he used the policy I spoke of earlier that the current administration is trying to overturn, or at least look for legal ways to overturn. And that is, Obama used this idea that it doesn't matter if your intent is racist. If you're harming a protected population, then by definition, it's discrimination, and it is considered by law wrong. And so I was just reading a bunch of things that he tried to do under the radar to try to help Black people, African-American people. But I know there's a lot being said. Martin, Republicans have become the party of the racist party. Trump has revealed their true nature. Absolutely. Party of hate. The party of hate. And at this point, I don't know how you all feel about this, but anyone who doesn't speak up against them, especially the politicians, are complicit. They might as well be doing it themselves, because saying nothing is condoning, and it's disgusting. They're going, Lakeisha, they're going to kill us. The RNC is hosting in my hometown of Charlotte, North Carolina. The KKK is coming here next year. Oh my gosh. These people are so sick. I actually did a really eye-opening interview with my friend Thomas, who was a former leader of the Mississippi Aryan Brotherhood. And he is completely a new person and works diligently to stop it. But I'd love it if you take a look at his interviews. Open my mind like I can't explain. He taught me so much. It was amazing. I need to know how they think. I need to know this stuff. And I didn't realize how I know nothing. I know nothing about that. It's amazing. But anyway, I'm so sorry, Lakeisha. just terrifying. Marcy. Oh, yes, Marcy. Obama did not separate families nor putting kids in cages. Absolutely not. And the BS that the, propaganda that they're saying he did that, it's just a lie. He did not do that. That was Trump. He chose to interpret it in a cruel, sick, sadistic way. Can you imagine someone after walking thousands of miles, carrying your babies, telling them, escaping from stuff that America had a part in causing, to take someone's child away from them? I can't think about it. I just can't. But Leslie, you got your comment held. Absolutely, Marcy. Thank you for saying that. There's so much propaganda and so many lies. You got your comment held, Leslie. I'm going to read it. Where is it? People. 45 is absolutely right when he says he needs to declare a national emergency, but not on a fucking wall, but on education, helping our veterans, fixing our bridges and roads, on social security. Absolutely. Actually, something I just posted, Leslie, and I don't know if you saw it or not because it doesn't go to everybody. Yeah, we have an emergency, all right, but it's just not what he thinks. Our emergency is white Americans being racist as fuck. Okay, am I allowed to say that on this? Oops, okay, sorry, I said it. That's our emergency. So, but yeah, absolutely. He just has the wrong emergency in mind. The emergency is white supremacy. So it's been a crisis for quite some time. Thank you, Leslie, I think I might have said a bad word on here. Neil, Trump is a person who lies so much he believes his own lie. Absolutely. In fact, what was it? Somebody was telling me just recently, he lies about stuff that he doesn't need to lie about. It's pathological. Something's wrong with him. I mean, I'll play the amateur psychiatrist. Something's very wrong with him. It's not rocket science. Something's very wrong with him. Gary, Republicans and Democrats are one and the same when it concerns Black people. A lot of people think that. A lot of people think it's just to the degree. Yep, I've heard that more times. And yep, absolutely. Stevie, you are naughty. You got your comment tagged. Okay. Oh, there we go. I can't. Yeah, you can read Stevie's comment. I try to say really intersectional, so there are some things I won't say because of the audience, but yes, I get what you are saying. Martin, thank you so much for being here. You seriously made my night. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You have awesome input, and I loved your comment. Marcy, let me see. I'm losing my spot again, which is a good sign. It means people are saying things. Let me find you. Gary, all the presidents have been racist, including Obama. Okay, that's what Gary says. Marcy, Obama did not separate, right? Obama didn't separate the families, right? Obama deported those with criminal records. Thank you, Marcy. Thank you. I missed some, so that's good that I went back. Sorry about that. Let me see. Oh, I said, Stevie, I put yours through so people can read it. Marcy, she says, the word fuck is very useful and versatile word. Use it freely and often. Thank you. I actually kind of do. I'm a potty or whatever mouth. I don't care though. Sometimes it just needs to be said. I just wasn't sure if YouTube forbids it or whatever. Antoine, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so thrilled that people are here. The goal of our show is to get a heterogeneous group talking about race in America honestly. Not bullshit, but honestly. And my hope is that maybe white people will see it and go, wow, they lived through it. Because the truth is the truth, whether white folks admit it or not. It doesn't make it not true. And we need to know our own racial history. Not that we did it, not that we should feel guilty, so we can give a shit and help, just not to lead, to support, to help, to do something. So I guess my fantasy is that maybe somebody will see a white person trying and go, wow, I wonder why she's trying to do this, and maybe look into it and actually educate themselves. It is a long road for white folks. It's a lifelong continuum. I'll never get this, but I'm dedicated to trying. And that's the best white folks can do. Thank you, Anton. I really appreciate it. Gary, Obama didn't separate families nor put children in cages. What do you think the prison industrial complex is doing? And he didn't do a thing about that. And that mainly affects Black people. So, yeah, I read that he tried to do something about it. And I mean, he was working against, he was really working against a lot. And I'm not standing up here saying you're wrong, Gary. I want to voice what you think, and I'm doing so. But I do know he did try in a lot of cases, and he was shut down. I mean, the problem we have here is white folks just don't get it. They're in power, and they're not educated. And that makes for a very pathetic, pathetic government. And I don't say this because I hate white people. I say this because I know we can do better. We have to be better than this. It's just about education. We have to learn the truth so we can make rational, thoughtful choices of who we allow to be in charge. Let me see. Mello, why is there hatred so deep for Black people? Are you talking about, maybe, I'm just going to guess, the Republican Party and just white people in general? I have no clue. Zero. If that's what you're talking about, the truth is our nation was built on the near genocide, taken, stolen land on the near genocide of the native people who lived here, and made wealthy and rich on the backs of people who were human beings, who were forced into a slave, forced to take the status of slaves, forced, by gunpoint. And our nation was built on white supremacy. So it's like, it's in our system. I always say this, but the system isn't broken. It's working. This is how it was made to work. And it needs to be dismantled. So sorry, I'm like on the soapbox here. Held for review. But Mello, make sure I'm answering the right thing that you're trying to tell me, or come back. Lakeisha, I wonder what life would be like if America was all Black and no European racist white folks. I think it would be, wow, I don't know. That's a really great question to pose. I don't know. Marcy, great question. Marcy, prisons are privatized, owned by corporations. It's disgusting. They are for profit. We absolutely need to stop the incarceration of innocent people. We must expose the corruption. Marcy, I did a whole live show on, I think we could all do hours and hours worth of live shows. Having prisons that are for profit on top of the systemic racism, the institutionalized racism, it's disgusting. I actually outlined all the steps at every step. Every single step is filled with systemic racism. From the, I should rewatch that and just remember what I talked about, because it was a really long show, and literally it could have gone all night, because it's a crime. Our system of so-called justice is a total crock of shit. But oops, I swear again. Let me read some of your stuff. Antoine, Mello, the reason whites hate Blacks so much is because blacks are the creators' people. Oh, Blacks, sorry. I'm like, Blacks are the creators' people. Sorry, I'm here. Sorry, I gotcha. Yeah, and you know what's really cool? And this is something that, like, anyone who's been paying attention knows African Americans, Black people, they end up having to work twice as hard to get half as much, yet they still persevere and are champions. I can only imagine what would happen if they didn't have this sick, sick crime against humanity continuously. I mean, Black people are doing amazing things against the odds. If you think about what they've accomplished with all this oppression, with all this hate, with, oh my God, sundown towns, redlining, Jim Crow, Black codes. Oh my God, I could go on and on. The police as, their origins. Oh my God, it's sick. The Compromise of 1877 taking place. I mean, yet they persevere and are amazing. So, it just should happen faster, I guess. It should have happened a long time ago. Let me see where I am. Mellow, thank you. Good. Okay. Yeah, you helped to answer. Human beings shouldn't be hated for their color alone. It's ridiculous. The whole thing's ridiculous. It's the saddest thing is it's all made up. I'll never like get comfortable and normalize. It's all made up. It's a human construct made up so you can hate people. That's just it's just weird. Marcy, hatred for Black people is from programming. We are taught no child was born a racist. Since it is taught, it can be unlearned. Exactly. And Jane Elliott is somebody who I learned about when I was very, very young, 18. And she says that if you can teach it, you can unteach it. I 100% agree. And some of the online communities that I run have been my guinea pigs. People have come in who literally walk in. Okay, they're online and they're like, I don't see color. Oh, I'm not racist. And they get educated slowly but consistently. And guess what ends up happening to them? They end up leaving about a year or two later because they can't take these idiot white folks who keep saying, I don't see color. Oh, it's hilarious. They don't remember. It is like, it can happen. White people can be taught to stand up for what's right, and it can happen. I've seen it happen. Okay, where am I? Marcy, that was a great point. Thank you for that. Lakeisha, racist and Black people, and I'm not allowed to say that apparently on YouTube, will reap what they sow. Yeah, and I can't, I don't get it. And you know what the craziest thing of all this is? Being racist is against white people's better interest. Unless they're bazillionaires or whatever, they have been fooled. And we talk about that a lot in some of these shows, but they have been fooled. They have been fooled into buying into this crazy idea that Black people are the cause of all their problems, when it couldn't be more of a lie. And they're uneducated. I don't get it. They fall for it, and they are so racist, and they love their racism so much, they go against their own best interest. When Trump was going to get elected, I turned and I said, you know what? He had him at racist. It didn't matter what else he did because he was racist. And they had been waiting for this since the Civil War. I don't know what else it could be. Let me see. I have lost my place officially. Oh, Jan, I live around nothing but bigots, and they act like that's just, I think it says bigots, and they act like that's just the way life is. It is a fantasy world. I'm so sorry to hear that. It's a fantasy world. They're living in a fantasy world. And it's disgusting. And I don't really get it because somewhere inside them, they know they're full of shit. I mean, come on. It's like this delusional white supremacy thing. White people aren't superior. We're all related. We're all, don't get me started. I am so sorry that's what you've had to endure. God, I hate this. Right, Lakeisha, money is their agenda. And we talked about that a lot in one of the other live shows. Money's their agenda. If they can keep everybody believing, all the white masses believing that the people who are causing their problems and taking their money, which is just ludicrous, are all the black people, then Trump and all his wealthy, sicko white supremacists can just keep doing what they're doing. It's unbelievable. Talk about suckers. And it's against their own, I mean, the middle class in the United States has 20 years dwindled. 50% of people used to be, hand to mouth. They literally couldn't eat if they didn't get the check. Now it's like 70%. And this is not a coincidence. This is not a coincidence. This is how it works when you allow white supremacists who are wealthy to run the show. Let me see. Money. Oh, good night, Leslie. Thank you for being here. I adore you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I am so happy you're here. Gary, this is an honest question. Are white people taught racism and hate, or is it just in their nature? I don't speak for all white people, but I speak to them. No, they're, oh my God, I could talk. I mean, you guys tell me what you think, but absolutely not. It's not in, no. It's in our nation. You literally you can't be born as a white person here and not have it impact you at the lowest levels. Implicit bias. I have implicit bias, but I'm willing to be introspective and keep it in check and listen and learn and do something. But I've never heard my parents or my grandparents say a bad thing about a racial group in my entire life. I wasn't raised with that. My parents had friends of everything, but I still have implicit bias because an example, I don't know if this is kind of what you're saying, but, let me just go back. I am blabbing while people are saying stuff. Let me see. Oh, Lakeisha, I skipped you. I'm so sorry. They lie like MFs when they lie. Yep. And Leslie, white people just don't care. I've had a guy say to me, "You're all right for a black guy." Oh my God. Talk about a backhanded compliment. That is one of the cliche things white people say. Ta-da. People will change one day, and I have a lot of white friends who stand by me. Oh, I'm so glad. People will change because, like I always say, black folks, indigenous people, brown people, everybody, you're going to get your equality and your equity. It's just white people need to catch up, educate themselves, and help move the process along a little. For God's sakes, doing nothing is condoning. Being nice to everybody doesn't cut it. You have to do something. This system is not going to dismantle itself. So yeah, let me just see. I'm sorry if I skipped people. Mellow. That's childish. They need to grow up. Okay, let me see. But yeah, racists seem to, maybe it's like an insecurity, Mellow. Maybe it's like they have such bad self-esteem. Like I say, if the best thing you ever did was be born white, that's pretty pathetic. I'm sorry. That's chance. You were born white. Yay. I don't get it. And again, I don't hate white people. I love white people. I love all people. So a lot of people, oh, you just hate white people. I'm like, give me a break. I just think we can be better than this. Maybe I have high expectations. People are going to think what they want, but I really don't care. Let me see. Fadine, good night. Thank you so much for being here. And jump into the contest so you can win a prize. Thank you, Shan. I'm trying to expand my audience. With your guys' help, maybe I will. I'm going to do this kind of incentive, whatever, to try to get more people just talking, just talking about racism. It is way past time for us to talk about racism in an open, heterogeneous setting where we keep it real. Neil, Gary, I believe white people are taught racism handed down from generation to generation. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like implicit bias can be, I'm a 3-year-old driving by in a car, driving on the freeway, and I pass by an area that has broken down infrastructure. I look, I'm 3, I'm like kind of like a little moron, I'm 3 years old. I'm looking going, subliminally, I'm looking and I see, wow, that's really broken down stuff. I see, it doesn't look kind of nice. And then I see some black people there. Well, black people doesn't mean anything to me. I'm 3. But I associate, because of the redlining and because of all the cruel, horrific things that we did. And so I'm a 3-year-old white kid who no one explains this to. So in the back of my mind, not consciously, I think, wow, that is an association. Maybe somebody says, oh, that's a bad neighborhood. Well, I'm 3 years old. Bad is bad. I don't know. So I mean, it's the little things. Look in the grocery store where some of the hair products for people who are black, the special products that they need that work best for them, are in a separate section. Bandages are pink. I mean, what is this telling a kid? It's saying we rule, you drool. It's saying we matter. And it's just in the air. Anyway, I'm blabbing. Let me. Thank you, Shan, for saying that. That's very sweet. And good night, Fadine. I'm very happy you were here. Let me move on. Gary, I ask because even when white people live around only white people, they're exhibiting the same behavior. The common denominator seems to be white people. 100%. Right. And like I say, Gary, and this is just my spiel, we don't have a black person problem in this country. We have a white person problem. That's what we have. It's a white person problem. And it doesn't matter if they're around people who don't look like them. It is how many of us were raised. It was, I mean, like Dixon White, he's a good friend of mine. He always says, we've never had closure. We've never had any, you can't have racial healing because white folks won't even admit 50% of the adult white people in America today think we're in a post-racial era. And they think they're discriminated against more than actual people who aren't white. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's the education level. I mean, people want to keep people uneducated so that, they can manipulate them. And that's exactly what they did. When Reagan brought up the welfare queen, the non-existent welfare queen, the person he was talking about was a white person. He didn't have to say anything. The white folks assumed it was a black person. He didn't even have to lie and say it was a black person. They just assumed it, and he just kept quiet about it. So, I mean, propaganda is everywhere. I don't know if I'm really answering your questions. I don't have the answers, but help me answer his questions, you guys. I don't know. I wish I did. Chariot Man Gaming. What do you think about the government shutdown? I think it's unconscionable is what I think. In fact, you guys got to hear what the senior advisor to Trump thought about it. But I wanted to tell you a little bit more about this, and we'll wrap it up because I know people are probably tired of listening to me yak. But I just heard about this, and I checked it because I couldn't believe it. And it has to do with the government shutdown. I heard that even though the federal government is shut down, have you guys heard this? The historic clock tower at the Trump International Hotel remains open and running for its handful of visitors who must get a good view of, from above. This Trump administration is something else. seems to have gone out of their way to keep this attraction open. Yet we have people who are monitoring the place where the real terrorists like to enter, called our airports, who aren't being paid, who are calling in sick by the dozens. This is messed up. I don't know. Did you guys read about that? That he has this little government-owned, his hotel is in a government-owned building, partially government-owned, and the people in his hotel go there and they like to see the view. So he's made an actual green-clad National Park Service ranger posted there, and they get to see their view when everything else is shut. So Panama girl, hello, just in time. Thanks for being here. So Chariot Man Gaming, I'm disgusted. He's cruel. And the video I showed in this of his senior advisor saying that people who are getting impacted by the government shutdown are better off because it's a free vacation. I mean, these people are delusional. They're truly delusional. Neil, the government shutdown, if continued, will destroy America as we know it. And in my opinion, we will have martial law and people will have no housing, food, and there will be more division of the people. Absolutely. I don't know how much longer people can take this. This shutdown has a ripple effect, and yeah, it's really bad. Antoine, whites have always been the primary recipients of welfare system. Absolutely, 40%, right. Blacks and other non-whites never got government assistance till after the civil rights movement. Yeah, and the fact is more white people get it, and we all know that because we actually go with factual, historical information. It's out there. Anybody today who is absolutely great point. Thank you. Anybody who is naive and ignorant today is by choice. We have something really cool called the internet. You can actually figure out the truth. It takes a little research because we have people who don't want you to know the truth. So I could go on, but I think you get the idea. Neil, go on. Neil, go on. I want to hear. I want to hear what you have to say. You're very, very knowledgeable in this area. So say what you want to say. I'm in. Marcy, if all Americans would strike and not work, the government could get back to work quickly. 100% yes. I'm going to read that one more time because that is it. We have to get together and say, we're done. We're not doing this anymore. If all Americans would strike and not work, the government would get back to work. Thank you for that point. Thank you. Dwayne, hello. It's sad that we have to have a shutdown. I have a friend who is furloughed. The economy will take a hit. Trump will get hurt. Oh yes, this is true. Trump will get hurt by this. Good point, Dwayne. Yep, absolutely good point. Trump is, he's insane. Oops, I said it. He is literally insane. I saw this teaser article today that made me like, because it said it looked really legit, and I didn't get to cross-check it, so I obviously not going to bring it on, but it said something about Trump has no idea how many, he's going to be in prison for life. I don't personally care what happens to him. I just want him out of everyone's life. But it got me, it was like a cruel article because it made me go, please, please, just get him out of our lives. But you know what? I don't know. I go back and forth because in a way, it's a painful, horrible, sick, awful thing. But maybe that's what this country needed, is to see the truth. I know a lot of white people have gotten their eyes opened. And I'm just hoping somehow, with your guys' help, I can make a difference to get more white people to get this. Yeah, it's the cruel part about the shutdown is that it's not just the people who are being impacted. I mean, they have to tell their kids, I'm sorry, I can't pay for your college. After school activities, forget that. Food, they're going to food pantries and food banks. But another thing to consider, the economy, think about the secondary resources that won't be used. I've seen some of the news. I don't know. Have you guys seen the news? What's going on? I mean, literally, towns are like ghost towns because nobody has money to buy things. So it's going to get. This is crazy. This is truly crazy. Trump is his out of touch attitude with this shutdown is consistent. It's very consistent. It's consistent with who he is. He truly is out for himself. Yep. Stop, Marcy. Marcy. Stop flying. Airlines will shut down. Yep. I mean, people nowadays need to watch. If they truly, truly care, they need to watch where their money goes. And I try to put any money I have into Black-owned businesses. And I advertise as much as I can for people who have Black-owned businesses. Because, yeah, the strike idea, Neil, I love the idea of people striking, but it would only hurt their personal situation. And the government doesn't care that the people are hurting. They have their own personal financial cushion. Right. And we don't have a government of the people for the people. I don't think we ever have, but it shows now more than ever. Part of what I wanted to talk about, if people are still, wanting to do so, is this Congressman Stephen King, who's been making racist remarks for about 16 years. And Lakeisha, guns are being taken on planes without TSA agents to screen for weapons. Is that true, Lakeisha? I didn't know that. That's I heard somebody who's in charge of the TSA, assuring me on this radio that everything's covered. It's all good. Well, I mean, come on. Don't be ridiculous. Trump is literally causing the national security crisis that he is lying about happening at the southern border. He's literally causing it by this shutdown. We are vulnerable. And I don't know, I'm no rocket scientist, but if I'm an enemy and I'm in another country, I'm watching what's going on. I'm thinking, these guys are vulnerable. They have this, horrible, horrible racist guy who's divisive and doesn't care what the people running in his clan, his clan to go with him. This is the time somebody's going to do something. And he is literally creating a self-fulfilling prophecy by his lies. That's just my take. But so what do you guys think of this Stephen King guy? Why at this particular moment is suddenly everybody kind of being up in arms about his overt white supremacist talk? His racist comment was this, for people who haven't seen this story. He just didn't understand, when he talked to the New York Times, he didn't understand how the term white nationalist, or sorry about my sarcasm, or white supremacist was offensive. He just doesn't get it. Well, I'm like embarrassed for them. It's just ridiculous. And I don't know why now they're trying to censure him. They're trying to, make an ordeal over him. Trump has opened the door to these closeted racists. So what do we think is happening to the ones that were already out? They're in their limelight. They love it. They love it. Marcy, government runs on our tax dollars. If America does not work, no taxes are collected. Yeah, I mean, I heard, Marcy, what you said. I had heard some economic advisors were saying the same thing right before I came on here. They were saying if people just band together and refuse to work, the pressure will be, unsurmountable for him. But my big take is, and I want to know what you guys think. How about the Republican Party step up to the plate and get a life? They can't have it both ways. Oh, we're just so appalled by this man, King, saying these things. Give me a break. It's been like this for 16 years. I don't know what will make them have a conscience, have a soul, have a, I don't know. But if it hasn't happened yet, I'm going to say nothing. The Republican Party should be held accountable. They just want to keep their position of power. What's a position of power if you're evil? What's a position of power if you're a horrible, horrible, inhumane person? I don't get it, but don't make me keep going. I think, King claims his crusade is about keeping out the wrong kind of values. Well, I get that. It's just we have different ideas about the wrong kind of values and what those are. He, of course, is referring to brown, Latino, Black, Indigenous people. He's referring to skin color. He's not referring to values. He's a white supremacist, and he's full of shit, and he's getting away with it. And that is enraging to me. The Republican Party is the official party of pure hatred. And they don't seem to comprehend some of the basic low-level tenets, like we're all the same race. Race is a human construct. It's made up. So I just don't get it. But I'm not sure. Do you guys want anything else you guys want to talk about? Because, this whole white folks, if they get one thing they need to understand is we did this. We did this. White, historically, we did this. We caused the problems and the difficulties that Black people, African Americans, brown people, Indigenous people, people of mixed heritage, that they face. We did this. We have a white problem in America. We don't know our own history, so we refuse to take responsibility for what we don't know, and we're not willing to take it upon ourselves to step up to the plate and educate ourselves. All I say are facts. I do not hate white people. I loathe the history that we have, and I'm willing to talk about it because it's the truth. I mean, I talk about the truth in other areas of my life. Why wouldn't I talk about it in this? On a personal note, I keep hearing the Republican Party say stuff like, the Republican Party has tolerated so much from Trump and King and all these overt racists. I beg to differ. They have taken nothing. The Republican Party is a co-conspirator, an aider, and an abettor. And I think I'm making up words now. Marcy, white people say, I didn't do this, but we do benefit from former slaves' work. So it is time to learn. It is time to fight for the equality we so desperately need. Absolutely. Right. And what I say to the beginners that I work with is, of course you didn't do it. Nobody's saying you did it. We were all born into this. But we benefit from the sick atrocities. Our nation is rich because our ancestors or our fellow white people or whatever, white America forced human beings into a barbaric slave status so we could get rich. So I usually say this, and people are going to get sick of this, but maybe we didn't build the pool when we see somebody drowning in it. But it doesn't mean you don't save the person just because you didn't build the pool, just because you didn't shove them in personally. You don't walk by. So why in the hell would you walk by this crazy, insane system of racism that we created and say, that's the way it is. I was born into it. Marcy, that was a really great, I agree with you. Gary, you keep giving Democrats a pass. For the last time, when it comes to Black and brown people, Republicans and Democrats are one and the same. I don't, Lakeisha, text me. Okay. I know that you believe that. I don't know. I can't say I 100% believe that, but I know a lot of people who do. All I know right now is that in this administration, it's like the lesser of two evils, I guess you could say. And I'm not trying to give a pass to the Democrats. There are some very uneducated Democrats who should have been doing much more. And who am I to give a pass to anybody? I don't know what to do. I don't have the answers, but a lot of people do believe that literally the Constitution, this nation, Democrats and Republicans were created and made for white people, and they are one and the same. And I'm not giving anyone a pass. I know it sounds like it, but right now I'm kind of dealing with people who are doing horrific atrocities and what I'm reading about. And right now it is Trump and his clan. And overall, historically, absolutely. Oh my God, absolutely. But right now I'm just kind of dealing with personally the here and now, because I don't have any power, but I understand what you're saying. Let me see. I've lost my place again. Open dialogue. Hey there. I don't think you're giving Dems a pass. I see your voice in the obvious. Okay. Thank you. I'm not trying to. I don't have the right to give anyone a pass. Our Constitution was written the system isn't broken. It's working. It was made to be sick and cruel and evil. It was made when white people didn't consider Black people to have a human status. I mean, this thing isn't going to dismantle itself. I blame everybody. I mean, everybody. I mean, that is in power has a responsibility. But yeah, I mean, I get what Gary's saying. I get it. A lot of my friends feel the same way. Absolutely. But thank you. Panama Girl, this type of trauma, slavery, Jim Crow, etc., has a transgenerational, I can't say it, transgenerational effect on contemporary Black people. This needs to be investigated further. Panama Girl, 100% yes. It's the most cutting technology. It's leaving, it's leaving genetic markers. It's actually leaving genetic markers on people's DNA. And so now we're going from not just having to be socialized into this sick crime against humanity. It's becoming like a biological hardship. I mean, that is the most riveting, incredibly, evolutionarily speaking, I don't think humans were made to endure that kind of cruelty. And I don't doubt one bit that there's genetic markers, and I'd love to learn more about that. Let me see. Thank you for bringing that up. Dwayne, Republicans should have kicked him out back then. Notice Trump is silent on this. Oh, absolutely. And Dwayne, that's my big point is, I'm no rocket scientist. I didn't know who Trump was. I knew he was an arrogant guy who was rich. That's all I knew, because I don't follow pop culture. I looked him up when I heard he was running, and I read about his housing discrimination and cruelty. And I read about the Central Park Five, and I almost threw up. What he did to those kids, now men, obviously, was the sickest thing. I think I just can't even talk about it. And I said, my God, he's a monster. I'm not a genius. I don't have like above average IQ. I just give a shit. And I get when somebody does stuff like that, they're not a good person. They're a bad person. This is not rocket science. White people who don't get this don't want to get this. Yes, they should have kicked him out. They should have never let him. Keisha, that's why I send in my new voting card, independent. Gotcha. Yep. Open dialogue. Granted, race, the social construct that it is, has given far too much psychological power to the first illegals in this hemisphere. Yeah. Yep. White people. I get it. And again, I'm not anti-white people, and I'll get tons of crap for being anti-white people. And if that's what they want to believe, they can. I happen to absolutely love white people. not everybody, but I do. And I just get this feeling we could do better and that we're better than this. And I'm disgusted because we have to be better than this. So, Neil, people seem to forget we are the government. Exactly. It's time to demand the people who represent us to do their jobs and listen to the real government and that is we the people. Yeah, we are not a government of we the people anymore, and we need to take it back. And what do you guys think? I mean, I'm thrilled to see these women of color, these, men of color, these in the House of Representatives. I'm thrilled to see people who, no shit's given, they're going to say it like it is. I'm thrilled. That's kind of what when I was a little kid, that's kind of what I thought that politicians were supposed to do. We're supposed to be moral and care and care more about the people and represent the people. So I guess I still like to live in my fantasy land, I suppose. But you're right, Neil. Dwayne, Lakeisha, make sure your state has open primaries. Some states will only let you vote per your party. Yes, and I can't stand that. Thank you, Dwayne. You're a wealth of knowledge. Absolutely. Every state's different, and the whole thing is ridiculous. How they keep people. Mello, your message got held for review. It's kind of an honor, I guess. Let me see. Trump effed up. Oh, I know. Can you? Trump effed up McDonald's French fries, etc. to the Clemson football team. Oh my God! Thank you for bringing that up. That was like, he is the ugly American. I could just see that was like, oh my God. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Actually, to be honest, and I know I sound, kind of like, oh, I know, I'm like kind of arrogant saying this, but over my dead body would my kid have gone to the White House? Literally. Oh, I mean, I can't really say that because, obviously my kid wasn't invited, but I wouldn't want my kid near that man. He's a psycho. I wouldn't let my pet rock go there. I don't have a pet rock, but I'm just saying. Yeah, that thing was just he it's so funny. Not funny. It's pathetic. He's classless. I mean, he truly is a jackass. Gary, no, Neil. Government is the shadow cast by business. We the people are the government is a lie. What percentage of American people want Medicare for all? Like everybody? I think that's your point. Yeah. We're an oligarchy. I don't know if that's what you're saying, Gary, but we are an oligarchy. We have kind of a facade of, yeah, but I think we can do better than this. I mean, right now, this is out of control. I don't want to speak for you, Gary, but yeah, I mean, yeah, we're pawns. Open dialogue. I hear you, not being anti anything. My mom is white and Native. None of us get anywhere with more hate. People who say you're anti-white are typically deflection professionals. Yeah, because a lot of people, what they mostly say, and who cares what they say to me? I'll survive. But a lot of people, their big thing is they don't want to talk about. They want to call me fat. They want to call me ugly. It's like so stupid. It's like, okay. But I actually kind of want to talk about the actual subject matter. But there's nothing they can say because they know they're wrong. I mean, so they just talk about ludicrous things that are like what are we, like 3? So if they wanted to really talk and care, that's great. But I've yet to meet someone who does. So, but yeah, it is what it is. You know what? I can quit. People who are brown, black, African-American, indigenous, they don't get to leave their skin, and they have to put up with this bullshit every single second of every single day of their life, and it's disgusting. So, but yeah, they also say I feel guilty. Well, I'm like, guilty? I'm pissed. It's like they don't get it. I'm not guilty. I'm enraged. I live in a nation that is full of shit. We live a lie, and white folks just go right along with it. I don't know why more people aren't mad. We talk about justice, liberty, and justice for all. What a joke. We don't have liberty and justice for all. It's a facade, and people just, anyway, sorry, I'm ranting. Yeah, open dialogue. Thank you for that. I got to go. See you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And definitely jump in and try to win $20 from Amazon. If you know anybody, you can, get in. Thank you so much for being here. I know a lot of people probably need to get going. I had a little bit of something. If people do want to stay, I wanted to talk to you about something that's kind of close to my heart because it's something that I was taught when I was little. I don't know how. I don't know why. But I was taught about, let me just back it up. Let me see. I have my notes here. On a personal note, when I was a very little kid, I learned about what it means to be a bystander and watch while something bad is happening and do nothing. And I really took it to heart. My parents must have told me that at like the perfect age because I was like, oh, yes, 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 and to be an enabler like so many politicians are is disgusting. White folks have been the direct cause of the problems that Black people, African Americans, and people of color have in America. Yet they are also blamed for it. And that is insane. And if Republicans don't like being called racist, I have an idea. Why don't they stop being racist? They need to stop. Okay, I am getting updates on a window thing. Engineer, come here. But I just got froze. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. Mr. Engineer, can you help me? Take a time. Sorry for the delay. But anyway, so if people don't want to be called racist, it hurts their cute, tender feelings. How about they stop being racist? I mean, I don't know. It's just not, it's not rocket science. By open dialogue, racists are racist enablers. Absolutely. Because they all live this lie together and it's like one big party. I guess. I don't really know. But yeah, it's so here, good idea. Thanks, Molly. I'm not a genius. I just, it just kind of makes sense. What I learned was this. If racist people want to not be hated and called racist, and why don't they stop and care? They're going against their own best interest anyway, and they don't even know it. We're repeating history. Martin Niemöller. Have you guys heard of Martin Niemöller? He's a German pastor who was outspoken. Now, he was a nationalist himself in Germany, but he was an intellect and he kind of thought, and he changed over time. And what happened was Hitler got wind of him because he was a church leader, he was a pastor, and put him in his own private prison because he was too vocal in expressing his, saying this is wrong, this is wrong. And he lived with a lot of guilt and he had deep regret. He finally was released from prison and he was in a concentration camp, like prison setting. He wasn't Jewish. He was a pastor. He talked about when he taught class, he taught, university, at the university, he had a deep regret in his life because he said the academics and the intellectuals and the people who had some power and some audience, he feels so guilty because he and they did not do enough to stop the Nazis. He saw it happening. People choose to do nothing. They see things happening and they say or do nothing. In my mind, they're complicit. You can't do nothing when an atrocity is occurring before your eyes and just watch. You might as well have done it yourself. And so I want to know exactly when is the Republican Party going to stop this? At what point do they say enough? they're complicit. And Democrats are too. You know, it's just, I don't really know which ones, because right now I'm kind of keeping my eye on people who are trying to do horrific things. But politicians at the local level, politicians at the state level, again, I'll say it again. The system's not broken. It's functioning exactly how it was meant to be. So as a mother, my kids even know this. I don't think these are too high of standards. To actually see someone being hurt and harmed and do something. I'm going to close with this. Martin Niemöller said that when he got out of prison and he started speaking at the universities, this is part of what he said. And he said it in many different ways, so this isn't exact, but he said, first they came for the socialists, and I didn't speak out because I wasn't a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I didn't speak out because I wasn't a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I didn't speak out because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak. So, good night, Panama girl. I love you. Thank you for being here. We, the people, need to stop this and dismantle the system. So I'm going to say a good night, and I just hope and pray for the people who are having horrific consequences over this shutdown. It's sick. It's unconscionable. Please, please know how much I appreciate you being here. This means the world to me. I just want to thank you for being here. Please share this, continue the conversation. If you know people who you think could benefit from this, bring them in. Win a $20 gift certificate to Amazon. Get people to do this. I would love to see some new people, and I'm going to do this every week. And if no one gets in it, then the people who are in it are going to win the gift certificate. So, and I'd love to give it to somebody, you know, who's on the show, because that's, you know, I love you guys. So if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, ring that bell. I have no clue what that's, well, I think it's a notification thing, and I do this live show every week, and I want to hear what you think. And I'm going to try to improve it every week. And next week, I will be announcing the first week's winner of the gift certificate. I'm just trying this. We'll see what happens. Very soon, I will be, let me see. If you have any questions about the rules, the prizes, just personal message me, and we'll figure it out. I did a poll to find out what people wanted for their prizes, and they said a gift certificate. So I was like, okay, I'm doing it. And if you know anybody who needs to tell their story and isn't getting coverage, get a hold of me. I do, they're not live. I do interviews of people who need their story told when they can't get people to tell their story and it needs to be told. So I do that. So if you know anybody who needs that, if you know anyone who wants to collaborate, I need your help. I can't do this alone. And my goal is to educate white people. And I know it sounds crazy. And yeah, I'll probably never get there, but I'm going to keep trying. So Mello, Chris Hodges, have you listened to him? He says that we have to dismantle the system too, but how? Yes, right. The dismantling is exactly what we're doing. I could go on and on about that, but yes, I have a lot of ideas, and I've seen dismantling can only take place once we get people in historically, can you make it anonymous? Thank you, Kim. Can you make it anonymous? Tell me what you're talking about and I will answer, but yes, whatever it is can be anonymous. What do I think about priests molesting little kids? Well, I think it's a really sick, fucked up thing. I'll say that much. And that they should be held fully accountable. And, you know, the law should apply to them. There should be no cushion of religion. I mean, that's ridiculous. Mel, thank you so much. I just want to thank everyone for being here. And if you have questions, personal message me. I'll write back. I'm slow, and I'm not, you know, I'm not always like perfectly timely, but I will get back to you. Okay. This is what I love to do. this is what I need to do, because I hate living in a world that's a lie. I don't know why. I can't stand it. So people say, oh, thank you. I'm like, don't thank me. This is selfish. I do this for me. Thank you, GJM. Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. And I pretty much never shut up. So if you have questions, definitely just get a hold of me. Oh, yeah, Catholic, Lakeisha, the Catholic Church with the religion and don't even go. Yeah. It is taking a human soul and destroying them. It's the sickest thing and that they get. Ugh. Kim, do you type fast? Do I type fast? So. Sometimes I make a lot of mistakes, but definitely, if you have questions or anything, please know I'm approachable, and I would love to hear. I care. I actually really care. Wow. It's like people are, when they first meet me, they're like, who is this lady or whatever? But I actually care. And I don't have to say that. Watch my behavior over time, because I don't expect people of color to trust me. I wouldn't. Why would they trust me? I'm not perfect, but I do care. And if you watch me over time, you'll know. And some people will never know because they've been destroyed. And that's why I do this. So thank you so much. Good Taurus carried along. Thank you. It's funny. Did I tell you I was a Taurus? That's so funny. Yeah. That's cute. So anyway, thank you guys. I'm going to shut up. My God, it's a miracle. Come to next week. Bring your friends. Get in the contest. If you know any connections, if you know any connections to people who want to collaborate, I'm up for anything. I want to get white people to get this. Gary, how many white subs do you have? I'm asking because of your channel to make a difference. It should be white people talking to white people. Yes, absolutely. And what I did was I do more than just my channel. I just started on my YouTube. I put videos on, but I never gave it the time of day. So like maybe a couple months ago, I thought, you know what? I'm going to get into the YouTube and see what I can do. What I really do is I run, I don't want to like go on and on, but I run an educational group for white people. And it's not really just for white people, though. It's for every single person in historically marginalized groups to teach, and every single person there to learn. It's not for everybody. It's a majority group members learn. Historically marginalized group people teach. And there's a lot of rules. And there's like about 5,000 people in that. And it is extremely cool. It's like my first thing I ever did that really meant something so much to me. Then I have my Angry Soccer Mom. Gary, I have my Angry Soccer Mom group, which is just a mix of everybody. And my biggest goal is to get white America educated. But unfortunately, I don't have too many like friends left that are white, I guess, so I don't mean to make Black people have more like emotional work to do. But if you believe in what I'm trying to do, and a lot of people hate me, and they might even hate me because they think, oh, it's too white focused, but I can only be white focused. I'm not telling Black people how to live and how to solve their problems. The hell, I'm not going to step out of my lane for that. That's obnoxious. I don't know how to solve all this, but Black people are doing it. Who am I to tell them? But what I do know is I can tell white people, and that's my part. So my role is a little bit different than that's my place, is to tell white people, cut this crap. This is sick. So that's kind of what I do. And a lot of my groups were like lots and lots of white people, but then things, I don't know, I do the best I can. It's a really hard mix because at this point, we're pretty damn divided, like you need me to tell you that. So yeah, Gary, you and I should talk. I definitely, I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think. So I promised I'd shut up, but I haven't yet. So anyway, I'm going to work on all this tech stuff. Thank you so much. Personal message me for anything. And I'm going to stuff a sock in it and say goodnight. Thank you so, so much for being here. You guys are amazing. All right. So share, and share again. Okay. Good night. Thank you.